498 laps completed. 2 more laps for Rusty Wallace. Less than a mile of racing now for the young driver from Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, who is on his way to his first Winston Cup win. Will become the 5th different driver to win this year, and the 5th different make of car to visit victory lane this year.
White flag is out. Harold Kinder has put the white flag on Rusty Wallace. Just a half a lap. He's on the back straightaway. Going in turn 3. He can almost smell the checkered flag from here.
Off of the 4th corner, Rusty Wallace wins the Valleydale 500 and his first Winston Cup race ever. He already has his hand outside of the side of the car, saluting and waving.
Bodine closes as he does right there going into the corners. But he just can't quite hang with coming off the turns. And if you don't get off the turns well and set yourself up for a pass on the straightaway, well, that's basically the story here. The 200 yards coming off turn 2 and those 200 yards coming off turn 4. That's where you'd like to pass. And now traffic a factor with the white flag being displayed. 1 lap to go. Bodine's going to try to the outside, but he can't quite draw along with Rusty Wallace.
Heavy lap traffic in front of the lead 2 cars. There's Alan Kulwicki up there, but he will move to the inside, and Rusty Wallace will try to hold off Jeff Bodine as they run that final lap.
Off turn number 4 with race traffic ahead. Bodine will not likely have a chance to make a move, and it is Rusty Wallace taking the checkered flag here in Martinsville. The 2nd win of the Winston Cup season for the Alligaard Racing Team, the Blue Max folks. And it was done with all due respect to Rusty Wallace, who there will get the accolades from Jeff Bodine. It was done on pit road.
They may have stretched it 1 lap too far as Darrell Waltrip coasts the Tide Chevrolet in, out of fuel. They're now pushing the car, trying to get it refired. They have splashed fuel back in it. Darrell Waltrip working the clutch, trying to get the car geared. And Rusty Wallace is out of fuel also. He is coming to pit road. Wallace's crew waiting for the Kodiak Pontiac. Rusty has just radioed in and told him he is out of fuel.
Elliott is off course, meanwhile, gets back on quickly. Rusty will make a stop here on the last lap of the race. Here he comes in. The red light, the fuel light is on, indicating the car is just almost out of fuel. Coming in quickly. He's got a 20-second lead. White flag is out.
Labonte has not come past the start line yet. Still looking for Terry Labonte.
The fuel in, and Rusty is back out on the racetrack as we have a car. Harry Gant has blown an engine. A lot of smoke from that car in turn number 1. That's you can see it right there. Harry moved to the inside. Here is Rusty Wallace, and he has maintained the lead.
He has. Labonte just crossed the finish line as Rusty was exiting the pit, so Rusty has held on to the lead.
Can he hold off the last half lap? Labonte, there he is in car number 11, running in 2nd spot. He's now close to, well, there is Wallace. You can see Harry Gant to the inside of the racetrack on the left side of your screen with a lot of smoke pouring from that engine. But Rusty Wallace, it appears, has successfully made a pit stop on the last lap for just a splash of fuel, got back out and maintained the lead, and is going to win his 3rd Winston Cup event of his career.
You know, I'm going to be very interested to hear from particularly Jerry Punch, who has seen so many of these Winston Cup races. Does he ever remember a winner stopping as he took the white flag going on to win the race?
It doesn't happen often. There is the Kodiak crew as they watch for their driver, Rusty Wallace, to move through the final corners of this race. Here he is off of corner number 7, and Rusty Wallace has won the Budweiser at the Glen.
Ooh.
White flag is out. Last lap is on for Wallace. Sideways in turn number 1. He's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, he knows he has it won, so he's taking it real careful through here. You saw him go sideways, one wheel off the ground. Standing straight up, sawing it. He's something.
That's his idea of conservative.
We call him Hyperman down in the pit area.
You call him Hyperman?
Yeah, he can't stand still. Even when you're talking to him, he can't. If you can get that shot, he sits straight up in the race car. He's awesome.
Crowd on their feet and cheering for Rusty Wallace. St. Louis, Missouri driver for Pontiac and for the Raymond Beetle team. Comes around 8. In total control of this thing at the moment. Just praying that engine doesn't come unglued after the tremendous strain of running 119 laps, 311 miles around this tough old Riverside International Raceway. Alan Kulwicki pulls on pit road toward the end here.
Well, one of the tough things that crew chief Barry Dotson on this car is my next door neighbor, and he's also Phil Parsons' next door neighbor on Lake Norman back North Carolina, so we're going to have a long week back in Denver, North Carolina.
Here's Rusty Wallace in for the final lap. Last time around for him as he streaks back toward the line. He's into turn 9, the final corner, and Rusty Wallace, the Missouri driver, will win here today. He's across taking the checkered flag is Wallace. A great victory for this Raymond Beadle team.
And the white flag is being shown by Harold Kinder. Rusty Wallace has one more lap to go, and he'll have 3 victories in the last 4 road races in Winston Cup competition. But there is Terry Labonte, and he is not too far behind. Ricky Rudd continues to run third. But Rusty, it seems to me, if he can hang this car on the racetrack and keep it straight, he's going to have another victory in his pocket.
I think he will. He was 1 second ahead of Terry Labonte when they came across the start-finish line, which meant that Labonte gained a little over 1/3 of a second on him the last lap. But he just has 1 to go, and it's hard to make up a full second.
Rusty Wallace comes through corner number 8. He has the long backstretch and corner 9 ahead of him before the checkered flag. He's keeping ahead about the same distance ahead of Terry Labonte and of Ricky Rudd.
Well, he's got the worst of the racetrack out of his way. However, turn number 9 can be very tricky. He has to be careful not to get in there too fast and slide high. That's his biggest problem right now. He's coming up on Bobby Hillen. As he goes into that turn, he moves around Hillen with no problem at all, and he slows it down going into that turn, gets her right down on the inside, as we've seen him so many times today. Looks like he's got it made, Bob.
Rusty Wallace comes out of corner number 9 in the Pontiac, slips just a little, but he's got the race won. He crosses the line, and Rusty Wallace wins. Terry Labonte is second, followed by Ricky Rudd.
Coming down, it's about to be thrown, it's down, and we're in the last lap. Going into turn number 1 for Rusty Wallace. His heart is probably beating at a rate that couldn't be captured on any kind of EKG.
Boy, he's saying a prayer, please give me enough fuel just to go down this backstretch and accelerate off of turn 4.
Elliott closing in. Elliott moving up another car length. It has been a wonderful race. Only one small incident. That was when Dale Jarrett spun in turn number 3. We've only had 4 cautions. And some mechanical failures. Here they come for 3 and 4. Driving for the finish. Down they come. Elliott trying to pull up. Rusty Wallace staying in front. Coming to the line. Rusty Wallace has defeated Bill Elliott by a margin of about 24/100ths of a second.
We'll see the white flag next time, as it'll be 1 lap to go. Darrell will cool the tires this one final time. Think about where he's going to make his move, and then he's going to probably honk Rusty Wallace as they come out of turn 2. Let's keep our eyes on this race to the finish as they head for the checkered flag hill. Well, he stood on it that time. You could see him move up visibly closer going into the first corner. But Rusty now driving with a rearview mirror. Notice him cut down, not allowing Darrell a lane to get around. This time Darrell's going high over in the third turn. Rusty goes high to block his path. Bill, take him to the finish. He was very loose through turn 4, fishtailing the car. He comes to the stripe, and Darrell Waltrip makes a move. Darrell actually bumped the rear bumper on the Rusty Wallace car as they came to the checkered flag. Rusty Wallace has won the 29th annual Oakwood Homes 500.
He didn't have any running room.
Jeff Bodine right on the bumper of Rusty Wallace. You know, Jeff's got to be upset with himself for not racing Rusty to the line, because Jeff really was the leader when the caution came out. White
flag this time by. Final lap. Can Jeff Bodine catch Rusty Wallace? And he nudges him in turns 1 and 2. Wallace a little bit out of shape. Bodine back on the inside. They are door to door. Down for the white flag. Final time. Here's Wallace back on the inside. And he nudges Jeff Bodine in turns 3 and 4. The crowd on their feet. It will be sideways. Rusty Wallace will win it here at Wilkesboro Speedway. I mean, they are on their feet, ladies and gentlemen, for an outstanding finish.
What a finish.
The white flag is out from Harold Kinder, and Rusty Wallace now has less than a lap to go before winning the AC Delco 500 here at Rockingham. The car comes out of corner number 2 down the backstretch. staying behind the third-place car, number 11 of Terry Labonte. Into the third and fourth corners for the final time. Rusty keeps the car low on the racetrack. Off of corner number 4. Here comes the checkered flag, and Rusty Wallace has won here at Rockingham. The white flag will come out next time around, and Rusty Wallace will be on his final circuit of this 1.5-mile Atlanta International Raceway. Down the backstretch, he will go beside and then around Michael Waltrip as Barry Dotson and the crew continues to watch their driver, Rusty Wallace. On the other hand, the Bill Elliott crew also is waiting to see what happens to their driver. Bill is not going to win the Atlanta Journal 500, but he apparently is going to win the Winston Cup for 1988. Bill right now is in 11th position. And remember, he needed to finish 18th or better to win the race, or rather win the Cup, regardless of what Rusty Wallace did. And it is going to come down to that situation. Rusty Wallace from Fenton, Missouri is about to win the Atlanta Journal 500. Here he comes off of corner number 4, and Rusty Wallace wins race number 6 of 1988, the final one of the year.
We'll have the white flag displayed next time around, and Rusty Wallace has the race in hand, it appears. He's in turn number 3 now, headed toward the white flag from Harold Kinder and the indication of one more lap to go. Rusty Wallace sat on the pole for this race with a record-breaking speed. Here's the white flag. We got one more lap to go, and look at the battle for second spot. It is Dale Earnhardt on the inside in the black number 3, and Alan Kulwicki on the high side in the multicolored number 7. Here they come off of the second corner. The battle for second place rages on. Earnhardt is trying desperately to hold off Alan Kulwicki. Points very valuable here. Kulwicki, however, moves to the inside in turn number 4. Here comes Rusty Wallace. He wins the Goodrich 500, and second place goes to Alan Kulwicki by a bumper.
And a close race also for fourth place, but Jeff Bodine just barely edged out Mark Martin.
White flag. 1 lap to go. 1 to go. Oh, had it been 2. Here's Kulwicki still making up ground. Still closing. Out of turn 2 into the back straightaway. 5-car length advantage belongs to Wallace. Here comes Kulwicki charging at the end. He picked up 3 car lengths down the straightaway in the backside, but at the line, Rusty Wallace records his second victory of 1989.
They'll come down this time for the white lap. Rusty Wallace leads with 1 more lap to go. Darrell Waltrip trying to wrestle the lead from him. He sneaks up on Rusty Wallace, but it appears as if Rusty may have enough to go the distance. Into turn number 3, here they come for the checkered flag. It's going to be Rusty Wallace winning the Valleydale 500. Darrell Waltrip finishes in second position. Jeff Bodine is going to hold on to third. Oh, it was a tight battle between Jeff Bodine and Dick Trickle and the 28 car of Davey Allison.
I just want to be close enough where you can get to them, where you can race them. If I'm close enough where I can race them, I think I can get by them.
Usually when it comes down to the end like that, usually it's awful tough to pass. Because
well, Jeff Bodine has crashed hard. You saw the tire shred on the car, and he has hard into the tire barrier and the retaining wall.
Not only, and we see Jeff, oh, thank God he is moving around. Yes, Jeff. But not only did the tire disintegrate, it also blew the brakes. He had no brakes at all trying to get in that corner, it looked to me like. He is unbuckling himself. He's taking off the steering wheel. He is trying to get out of the car, and that is so good to see as the white flag comes out. Bodine hard into that tire barrier and into the guardrail. 1 more lap to go. There you can see that Jeff is out of the car, and the corner workers are signaling that he is okay. We're on the last lap of the race, and Rusty Wallace is in the lead and appears to be headed for his 4th road course win in his career. Rusty Wallace, who started this race from way back in
the 14th position.
14th, right. You can see the yellow flags being displayed by the corner workers in this area of the racetrack where Jeff Bodine crashed.
And there's a white and yellow being given to him at the start-finish line.
So
they'll race back to the flag.
The race will officially end under yellow. as Mark Martin there is in second position following Rusty, and then will come Dale Earnhardt in third position. But here is Rusty Wallace. He finished second at Sears Point on the road course earlier this year. He comes out of corner number 7. He takes the checkered flag and he wins the Budweiser at the Glen. Rusty Wallace has won. Mark Martin finishes second. Dale Earnhardt is third. Here it is. One more lap to go for Rusty Wallace. He's looking for his 15th career Winston Cup race win and his second at Michigan International.
And his 5th of the year. He would take over the lead in wins this year on the Winston Cup circuit. He and Darrell Waltrip were tied at 4 each, but Rusty would go ahead 5-4.
Now midway down the backstretch, into turn number 3. Rusty Wallace, originally from Fenton, Missouri, St. Louis area, brings the car off of corner number 4. Here is the checkered flag, and Rusty Wallace has won the Champion Spark Plug 400.
Laps running out and the fuel running out.
I think Harry Gann has moved up to 3rd place now, so it'd be interesting to see as these cars fall out.
White flag is down, final lap. It could be my kingdom for a thimble of gas, or it could be all. Down for the finish.
27's out of gas.
27 is running out of gas. Going into turn 3. Wallace is slowing down. Wallace is into 4. He's coming out of turn 4. The man in second is Earnhardt. Earnhardt trying to close, coming to the line. Number 27 wins it.
Here comes the checkered flag. There's the end of the race. Dale Earnhardt wins the Atlanta Journal 500. But Rusty Wallace has become the 1989 Winston Cup champion.
Bob, he is the 20th different driver to win the championship since it all started back in 1949.
Here comes Rusty Wallace finishing that last lap.
It's official now. There he crosses the line. Rusty Wallace wins the Winston Cup.
Look at Wallace pulling up. Elliott moving along.
Slow pace right here.
And look at Wallace drawing. And he backs back down again. Waiting in that inside car. Pace car is in. Being very respectable as they come down out of turn 4. Now here comes the break, and on the outside, Wallace makes his move. Here comes Bill Elliott right with him, and Mark Martin stays with him. Those two Fords locking up to go after the Pontiac. The last lap for Oliver, and Martin comes to the inside. Elliott does not let him through.
Don't forget, we've got to contend with this third and fourth turn, which might be the least bit slippery.
Back straightaway.
Particularly down low, because that's where the oil is, which is where Rusty was seen in London.
Wallace in front. Here comes Elliott. Charging. Wallace fading high. Bill Elliott down to the inside. Last lap, last turn to the side, the 600. Coming to the stripe. And for the first time in his career, Rusty Wallace has won. Rusty Wallace has won the 600.
And there's trouble down in turn 11. Davey Allison and the Terry Labonte car are nose to nose.
I believe that could be, is that Labonte or, yeah, that is Labonte.
Yeah, Davey Allison spun, and Terry came into the turn, just couldn't get stopped and hit Davey. Now they both get going, or at least Davey's getting going. The car number 1, and Terry Labonte still sitting there.
Labonte remains in the middle of the racetrack in turn number 11.
And you know he does not want to be there.
He is right in the middle of things. Here it is once again.
Davey Allison just loses control going in.
Oh, a full course caution. This may mean the race will end under caution. And there's a contact between Terry Labonte and Davey Allison. Rusty Wallace is headed toward the yellow flag because of Terry Labonte's stop car in corner number 11. We could see this race end under caution.
And boy, will we see some scrambling when they get down there to that car sitting there in the groove in turn 11. That's a tough enough track when it's clear. Of course, most of the spotters have told their drivers that's where the trouble is, so be careful when you get there.
Rusty picking his way through. Mark Martin.
Here he comes.
Right up on the back bumper of him.
Yellow flag is showing. Mark Pontiac is trying to win the race to the line because that could be the end of the race right there. The white and the yellow flag comes out simultaneously. This race will end under caution, and Rusty Wallace will win it. Well, a kind of a anticlimactic ending here to what was otherwise an exciting afternoon of racing, but it is, for all intents and purposes, over, as the cars now are under caution and cannot pass, and next time around the checkered flag will wave for Rusty.
Well, Rusty, he knows he's under the caution flag, but he's not slowing down. You know, he's not going to let Mark pass him, I don't care what.
Now, just for the heck of it, he's going to stay ahead of Mark. But we are under our 9th full course caution of the day. Terry Labonte's car is still in the middle of the racetrack in corner number 11 as the lead duo makes their way through turn number 6 onto the drag strip. Rusty Wallace will win this event. I guess the only way he couldn't win is if a car stops and stalls on him between now and the finish line.
Yeah, because Mark Martin can't pass him. There are under caution flag conditions, and so he can't pass him.
All Rusty has to do is keep the car running to the start-finish line, and he'll have his second win of 1990, and that's going to certainly increase his chances of successfully defending the Winston Cup Championship.
Well, he got a break today because the point leader, Morgan Shepard, had a problem, and he's going to have a bad finish and lose some valuable Winston Cup points. Bill Elliott, the Coors Ford, blew an engine just a moment ago as he crossed under the white flag. I don't know if he'll be able to make it back or not.
Rusty is in turn number 10. And the pace car has picked. The pace car picks the cars up in the S's between turns 8 and 9. And that's where the pace car has come onto the racetrack as they head now for turn number 11. You can see Terry Labonte's car up ahead. That has caused our final caution period of the afternoon and has caused the race to end under yellow. This will be Rusty Wallace's 18th Winston Cup career win, and it will mean that he continues to dominate road racing in Winston Cup competition, having now won 5 races out of the last 7. Here comes the pace car.
Ricky Rudd says, I bet I can beat those guys to the line.
Rusty Wallace wins the Banquet Frozen Foods 300 under caution. Rusty Wallace from Fenton, Missouri adds another win to his resume on the road course.
The white flag is out. One more lap to go for Rusty Wallace. Let's see how he handles the traffic ahead of him. Bill Elliott is right there. Rusty Wallace moving high off the second corner. Leading down the backstretch. Ernie Irvin will try to make a final move. He taps Rusty. Here they come off the corner. They're side by side. It looks like Rusty Wallace is going to win by about a half a car length. Oh, another exciting Bristol finish. Rusty Wallace, who right now is leading this race, is getting some assistance from Dale Earnhardt. Now he'll have to back off here and let Rusty do it on his own as the white flag is being displayed. Rusty moves well away from Dale Earnhardt, making sure that the NASCAR officials aren't confused and don't see him getting any assistance during this final lap of the race. And we're going to end about 21 laps short of scheduled conclusion because of rain that's falling hard right now. The question is, at this moment, can Rusty make it for 2.5 miles?
Well, he can't be pushed now. Legally, under the rules, he cannot be pushed now. If he runs out of gas on the back straightaway, he will only be credited with 1 lap short. Right now, we're looking at 178. That's all the laps he'd be credited with.
Rusty Wallace is on his way to winning his 20th Winston Cup race. He won earlier this year in June at Bristol.
If he has about a half gallon of gas to get him back to the start finish line.
That's right. If.
Actually, it was back in April when he won at Bristol, but it doesn't matter. He won then.
He won, and this would be his second win of 1991 should he make it around. Now, he's approaching the end of Long Pond Straightaway, headed for that tunnel turn number 2.
Sounds like the car is running okay now, if that's his engine that we're hearing there.
But look at how wet the track is. You can see that his car is raising a spray, and the visibility is now becoming limited as the rain is falling as hard right now as it has any point this afternoon.
Yeah, they've got to stop the race. There's no way, as you said, Bob, 2 hours we've waited for the racetrack to dry. It dried as the cars went back on the racetrack. Just half a lap to go before it's going to get the green flag. It starts raining again.
He appears to be running okay, and he has now now just about half a mile to go. In replay, let's look again at what was going on a lap ago when he was receiving some assistance from Dale Earnhardt.
Now again, this is not against the rules. Any lap but the last lap, cars can receive assistance from crew members and other cars, but they can't on the last lap. As Ned Jarrett said, they did this for a couple of laps so that he would conserve fuel. He would have gasoline for that final lap.
And here he comes. He is following the pace truck down pit road as the red and the checkered flags, actually the white and the checkered flags, are being displayed by Doyle Ford. There it is. The checkered flag is out, and Rusty Wallace has made it down pit road and has completed the lap unassisted. And Rusty Wallace has won the Miller Genuine Draft 500. How interesting that this car, sponsored by Miller Genuine Draft, wins the race that is sponsored by the same company.
Buddy Parrott.
Oh, I can remember when he was a tire buster for Goodyear. Was a great diver.
I'm not sure he's not straining more now than when he used to mount those tires watching this race.
Best part of the show used to be after race to go down to the motel and watch him. He was a clown diver for some circuit. He was terrific. Doesn't do that anymore. Got his war face on out there tonight. What a heck of a guy.
Well, they turned this into a 3-ring circus tonight for themselves.
About to be a big splash in the pool of champagne in Victory Lane for Rusty Wallace. 1989 Winston Cup champions under a white flag. Getting ready to wrap it up. Checkers are down, and Rusty Wallace has finally done it. Put one together in 1992. The Miller car comes home in first in their own race. How about that?
Andy Peaches, Earnhardt's crew chief. A lot of folks thought he would help Earnhardt's team. He has. A lot of folks thought his leaving Harry Gant's team would hurt Leo Jackson's squad, and shown today, apparently, it has not.
Mike, it might be a combination. What they had was left there with Gant, and maybe people carried over to Earnhardt something. This helped him today. He certainly ran better at this racetrack.
Both ran well today, but Gant's car in the garage. Last time around the park. And in front of Rusty Wallace, pretty clear sailing. Darrell Waltrip ahead, but down on the bottom, out of harm's way. Rusty Wallace comes off turn number 4. Earnhardt is closing it up, but will run out of time. Wallace scores his 3rd Rockingham win. Buddy Parrott gets the dunk.
White flag comes out this time for Rusty Wallace. Not only is he going to win this race, he's going to pick up $60,800 in Cal bonus money. This will be the 3rd time he's won that Cal bonus. Second place will continue to watch for you as Earnhardt remains ahead of Kyle Petty. Rusty Wallace in the 3rd turn, now the 4th turn, and the Food City 500 win is in. Rusty Wallace, Earnhardt second, followed by Kyle Petty. Here is 4th position going to Davey Allison and Spencer, then Davey Allison, and then Darrell Waltrip.
Doyle Ford's got that flag in his hand. He starts waving it.
One more to go for Rusty Wallace, and he'll win his 24th career NASCAR Winston Cup race, 2nd straight, 3rd this season, and become the new points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition. Here's the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac off the 4th corner. Rusty raises the hand, and he wins the first Union 400. Maintaining an advantage.
Oh, Morgan Shepherd hit the wall hard up in turn 3, between turn 3 and 4. The Citgo Ford just shot into the wall, and boy, he hit it hard.
He sure did, and there's considerable damage to the right side. Here's the caution once again.
And he's sitting right in the middle of the track. They got a race back here. This race could finish under the caution. Of course, their spotters are telling him where he is.
Look at Allison trying to win it.
He couldn't quite make it. A half a car length.
That could have been the race right there if we do not go back to green.
We will not go back to green, believe me.
Yeah, there's only 3 laps to go, and there's enough debris scattered all the way around turn 4. And, of course, his car is still sitting there. Look how close Davey came to winning this thing.
He got up on the inside of him, about a half a car length, maybe 3/4 of a car length.
Yep. Wow.
Wouldn't that be something if he'd won the race? Next question is
Morgan okay?
Is Morgan okay? But
that's
we can see some heavy damage to the car.
It will end under caution. You see Morgan, yeah, his car is headed for the 3rd turn wall.
He hit it and then stayed up against the wall the way through turn 4 and then slid down to the middle of the racetrack. White flag comes out along with the caution, and this one will end under yellow with Rusty Wallace winning his 3rd consecutive event and 4th of the 93 season, dominating the short track activity in the first half of the season. 3 in a row. Let's go to Jerry Punch, who's with Buddy Parrott.
They're holding their breath, and Buddy Parrott, a big smile from you. He's about a half a lap away from 3 in a row. Congratulations.
I tell you what, it's really a great win. You know, I said Wilkesboro was a handling situation, but today it's a mechanical situation. You know, the guys in the chassis shop and the guys, the whole guy, everybody that did the brakes, everything. We won this race today because of maintenance. The car handled great, but still, it lived all day. Earnhardt had a problem with the motor, and this is for David Evans. His father had a heart attack. This is you, David.
And they dedicate the win to David Evans, the engine builder, who is not here today, but watching at home with his dad, who had a heart attack. Bob?
Rusty Wallace has led 905 of the 1,800 laps raced on short tracks this season. He has led 50%. And not only is this a big win for Rusty Wallace, but it moves Pontiac to the top of the manufacturers battle with 54.
1 to go. Last time around for Rusty Wallace and this battle for 2nd place.
He's going to swing out wide, try to cut the car back down to the bottom. There's Rusty coming off. He's checking out on him.
Here's 2nd place. Beatty's got one more shot here at turn 3 to take 2nd place money.
He actually had a little bit better run on the white flag lap.
He did. Rusty's going to come off turn 4 to score his 26th career victory, tying him with Hall of Famer Fred Lorenzen. Mark Martin, by a car length, holds off Davey Allison for 2nd.
White flag is out. 1 to go. Rusty Wallace is there. Martin is back in 5th spot. The string will end at 4. Down the back straightaway. It's Rusty Wallace in front. Elliott making one final stab. It is not enough. Rusty Wallace has done it. He's just won his 27th Winston Cup victory. And he did it really the hard way tonight. Had to make up a lap and come back. And come back he did.
White flag. Look at Buddy Parrott. He don't look like he's worried.
Last time around, here's the race for 4th.
That's right.
Only 3 drivers have won at Dover from the pole. David Pearson in 73, Cale Yarborough in 76, Bill Elliott in 1990. Make that 4. Rusty Wallace.
For Rusty Wallace. He started his streak in February here at Rockingham, winning his first race of the season. And since the June race at Pocono, he has finished on the lead lap every single race.
Boys, I can't wait to get out there to Arizona. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a shootout right to the last.
That's 1 week from today. For the 9th time this season, Rusty Wallace in the Miller Genuine Draft Pontiac takes the checkered flag. 30th career victory for Wallace.
Here it is, 1 lap to go for Rusty Wallace, and he'll win the Hooters 500. And do what he had to do, and that is win the race, lead the most laps, collect all the points possible. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, though, for Rusty in terms of the championship, because Dale Earnhardt
is going to win that.
And Darrell Waltrip is out of gas. He's out of gas now. He's out of fuel. Ricky Rudd will pass him before he gets back.
He came within a half lap of finishing the race. There is Darrell Waltrip. Ricky Rudd goes by him. He takes second position. Rusty Wallace comes off the corner, takes the checkered flag, and wins the Hooters 500. And the celebration in the Miller Genuine Draft Pit.
Looked like Rick might have used the tires a little bit hard there. He might have tried to cool them down for a corner here and make a run at him on the last lap or so.
Closed about half of that distance right there, buddy, but he lost a little bit of time negotiating around one of the lap cars a while ago.
Well, the last lap is here. Rusty Wallace is picking up right where he left off last year, crashing at Daytona and winning at Rockingham. The battle will be for second place to the flag. It'll be Wallace picking up his first win of the season as he comes off turn number 4. Mark Martin right behind him in 4th place, but 4-second spot. Here they come off the corner. Mast is high, Marlin is low. Mast drops down to the bottom. And for position, Ernie Irvin holds off Brett Bodine, and a crash in turn 4.
Chuck Bound.
Put Chuck Bound in the fence.
Next time around, they will come down and get the white flag. Chris Berman and all the crew standing by for the NFL draft. In one more lap, Rusty Wallace leads Ernie Irvin. And Rusty is about to pick up $98,800 in Unocal bonus money by winning the Haynes 500 here this afternoon. If he can negotiate turns 3 and 4 and take the checkered flag. Here he comes off the 4th corner, and Rusty Wallace wins the Haynes 500 by just 4 or 5 car lengths over Ernie Irvin.
And as you watch from the helicopter, Rusty Wallace will take the white flag.
Rusty Wallace just answered the question. How deep can you drive a car into number 1? That's as hard as you can make it.
Kenny Schrader is up the board behind Jeff Gordon. Turn 3. Final corner.
These lap cars are going to play a factor. Let's see what happens.
Big chunk of cars in front of the leader. Earnhardt looks low. Jeff Gordon looks lower. 2 in a row. Big crash in turn 3. That on this final lap.
4, 5 car length advantage. White flag is out. 1 to go. The engine stalled as he came down out of fuel. Buddy Parrott threw his heart and soul into it. Got him back in the event. It looks like it's going to pay off. Martin making another stab.
Couldn't do it. Earnhardt just flat drove in there as hard as he has all day long, kept the position.
But give Martin the Medal of Honor for courage in this one. Checkers ready to fly. And the 36th career win for Rusty Wallace is scored on Father's Day 1994, his 5th of the season. And Earnhardt pulls to within 72 points of the Winston Cup leader, Ernie Irvin. What a race.
1 more to go. Let's see how Wallace and Martin end this thing. of the second corner, and Rusty Wallace goes to the inside of Ken Schrader. So it's Martin. But Rusty Wallace is going to win it. Here's the checkered flag. Wallace wins.
And as they come around, it's 490. Mark in the wall.
Oh, man.
Hard with the right front. Sliding down the racetrack, and everybody gets by. And a great drive.
Boy, that's
ends
a shame.
up clambered in the concrete. And here's the new leader as they come to the caution with 5 laps to go. White flag, 1 to go.
There's a bunch of cars worried about running out of fuel. Look at all the cars going down on the flat part of the racetrack here.
But none of them are worried quite as much as Rusty. This is his race.
I think Earnhardt said everybody else is doing it. I am too.
Can Wallace make it around? Now, if Earnhardt even bumps him, that might be construed as help, and you can't have any help on the last lap. There, Earnhardt gets far enough away as possible.
Why would Dale help him?
I don't think anybody in their right mind would construe that.
Well, I meant accidentally, buddy. He's right down on the apron.
Rusty's on his own on this deal.
Yeah.
Trying to get all the fuel picked up.
But it looks like he's going to handle it.
Yeah.
Can you see a fuel pressure gauge in there?
I guarantee you, whether it's sputtering or not, he thinks it is.
And look at the left rear.
That's why.
Left rear
That's
tire.
another reason.
But as long as he's going forward, they can't pass him. Can you believe it?
He can coast now.
Checkered flag. 38th career win for Rusty Wallace, and the 7th this season.
White flag in the air. You talk about that right rail and Jeff Gordon's car, Ned. Look, he's just in front of Rusty Wallace to be lap. Yep. Back to the 11th spot. He's the last car on the lead lap. The final lap at Martinsville Speedway. Rusty Wallace coming to turns 3 and 4, and Wallace will pick up his 4th victory at Martinsville. His in 1994. He takes the checkered flag and waves to the crowd. His 3rd win on the short tracks here this season.
Rusty Wallace comes off of corner number 4, looking for the white flag. There's 1 lap to go.
Here's the race. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Musgrave, Jeff Gordon, and Darrell Waltrip.
And look at Waltrip put the heat on Jeff Gordon for 3rd. Wallace, meanwhile, is in turn number 3. He's off the corner. And Rusty Wallace wins. Musgrave, Gordon, Waltrip, and Mark Martin are the top 5.
Nice. What it's all about. Yep. This is Saturday night stock coverage right here. White flag is down. Those leaders. White flag is out. Wallace is going to come home. Battle is right here. Labonte and Earnhardt decided for 2nd position. Checkers about to fly for the 4th time, and 41st Winston Cup victory coming out for Rusty Wallace. But the story is right here, and there he is waving as he crosses the line. And the battle for 2nd at the stripe. How about Terry Labonte?
And the white flag comes out for Rusty Wallace.
Oh, the 41 car spins. Ricky Craven. Here comes Rusty.
No caution.
And Ricky gets the car going again.
Does a nice 360, keeps going. We're on the final lap. Rusty Wallace is just behind Ricky Craven. Here comes Rusty off of corner number 4. And Rusty Wallace wins his first event of 1996, his 43rd career win, and his 19th short track event. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go. There's Ken Schrader, who is 8th. Bobby Labonte is 9th. And Ward Burton is in 10th position. They come up the hill for the final time under competition. There's Jeff Gordon, who has Ricky Rudd all over him. Rusty Wallace continues to lead, but the advantage is less than a car length over Martin. Downhill they come now to corner number 5 and then to number 6.
And that's where Mark Martin got past last year. He was hoping that he might
returned the favor to a different driver this year, but he didn't pass Rusty there as he come out of turn 6 here now. Still Rusty out front as they head into turn 7. Martin will try to outbreak him coming in this turn, but Rusty has been driving hard coming into this turn. I think he'll be able to hold him off. And here comes Dallenbach. He's moving in closer as well. Earnhardt down on the inside. No passes made here.
Folks, there it is. They are going as hard as they can possibly go and keep that car going straight. Rusty Wallace, the 2 car. Mark Martin in the 6. Wally Dallenbach, the 15. 1, 2, 3. They charge towards me. Turn 11 one more time.
It's going to have to happen here, Benny, if it's going to happen.
Does Mark have anything for Rusty? He tries. He's hard on the inside. Now he comes off, tries to get to the inside. He can't make it. Rusty Wallace accelerates towards you, and I think the victory, Bob.
Let's see if he can hold him off. It looks like he's going to. He pulls ahead. Rusty Wallace wins the St. Mark's Supermarkets 300, his second win of 1996, and his second here at Sears Point, his 43rd career win and 6th on a road course.
Down to the final moments on this one. It's not one of those stand up and yell and scream. It's stand up and bite your fingernails.
I'm not sure about that. You see the 5 car of Terry Labonte moving in. That's the 3rd car in the screen right there. He's really moving in a hurry.
Here it comes. Last lap. Has Wallace got enough to get there? Looking back, you see Terry Labonte right there in 2nd spot.
Sterling Marlin just passed Jimmy Spencer for 3rd.
Down the backstretch, final time. Still steady. Not a sign of a burp on that number 2.
This is the corner that matters. He comes off under power. He can knock it neutral and almost win the race coasting.
He's going to do it.
And moving up is Labonte. But having this field covered, the 44th career win for Rusty Wallace happens today in the 28th annual Michigan 400.
The white flag is coming out, Ken.
Final lap. And will that 2-car draft overtake the leader? They've got enough between them. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Wallace in front. Scoots into the first turn for the final lap. Dale Jarrett closes up on Ricky Rudd. They shuffle a little out of turn number 2. Take it to the outside all the way. Anything left, give it all now.
See Rusty pulled it inside there to cut off the draft to Ricky Rudd going down the back straight there. It also helped him gain just a little bit on Jarrett down that back straightaway.
At the end of 500 miles here today, you've got 3 Thunderbirds thundering toward the finish line into turn 3 for the final time. Coming into the main straightaway and down the stretch. Here comes Jarrett to the inside on Rudd as they come to the stripe. For the 45th time, Rusty Wallace has won. Ricky Rudd is going to get 2nd spot by about 3 feet.
Wallace in turns 3 and 4. Here's the white flag. 1 to go. Interval remains about the same. There's in 2nd. Mark Martin in 3rd. Rusty Wallace brings it off the 4th corner and wins the Goodies Headache Counter 500. Rusty Wallace, his 6th victory here at Bristol, 46th career NASCAR Winston Cup win, and ties it for 11th on the all-time list with Buck Baker. Spencer finishes about a car length ahead of Ward Burton. Wallace heads for the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Bodine and Jarrett continue to pound on each other behind Rusty Wallace. All of that action is helping Rusty Wallace pull away from the rest of the field. It looks like he's going to be able to do it and win the race. The question is, who's going to finish 2nd? Now Jeff Bodine has pulled ahead of Dale Jarrett for 2nd position. Off of corner number 4, and Rusty Wallace wins the Pontiac Excitement 400. Welcome back, everybody, to Phoenix International Raceway, where although the rain has slackened, it has not stopped. And the Duraloop Kmart 500 has been called an official race, and Rusty Wallace is today's winner. Rusty started 6th and dominated throughout the course of the day. Victory Lane is being held under cover in the garage area. So let's go to the Money Store Winner's Circle interview. The Money Store, where America goes for money. Here's Steve Burns.
Mark looks to the inside at the end of the backstretch. Can't make the pass. The white flag is coming out. One more lap to go. Around the 36-degree banking of Bristol Motor Speedway for the title in the Food City 500.
Oh, look at that run Mark Martin has that time. Oh, he tried to get it under there, but couldn't quite do it.
Got it sideways, but he's not going to be able to do it as Rusty Wallace wins the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Johnny Benson running in the second position, just 2.25 seconds behind, and he too wishes there were about 20 or 25 more laps to go to see what he could do, if anything, with Rusty Wallace. But Rusty has been so good here this afternoon. He's on his final tour of the half mile at Bristol. Wallace heads for the checkered flag, becoming the 10th driver to win 50 NASCAR Winston Cup races or more, and its first victory since a year ago here at Bristol.
Here comes Jeremy Mayfield. White flag is up. Final lap of the Pennsylvania 500. Mayfield trying to complete the Pocono sweep for 2,000. 2.5 miles to go.
Burton on the outside. He's not giving that long line up. He'll get a great run down through there. The race is for second right now.
Rusty to block. Burton to push. And they both closed on Mayfield. Look at this. They ate up Mayfield all over the back of him into the second corner.
Here comes
Mayfield's got a problem. Mayfield's got a flat tire. Here goes Wallace by. Now the race for the win between Wallace and Burton. Mayfield slows on the final lap.
Rusty Wallace gets a good clean entry into turn 3.
Rusty Wallace needing to get off the corner and beat Jeff Burton back to the finish line. Here they come, the final sprint down to the checkered flag. Burton tries to draft up inside. Wallace wins it. Rusty Wallace wins the Pennsylvania 500 when Jeremy Mayfield suffers a flat tire halfway through the final lap in the lead.
And the white flag is out for Rusty Wallace. One more lap. Battle back here for 9th, 10th, 11th on back. Rusty with almost a 3-second advantage as we continue to focus in on this battle. It's the best on the racetrack. There's no competition between the 28 of Ricky Rudd and the 18 of Bobby Labonte. They're running second and third.
One that's the damage to Jeff Greer. That's hurting his efforts as Rusty Wallace comes down to the checkered flag. It's Rusty Wallace with the victory.
Set on the pole to begin the night with a new event qualifying record. A brand new car. Robin Pemberton and the Penske South crew built and brought to Bristol. Final lap for Rusty Wallace, 44 years of age. Comes up on the rear, the lap car of Jeff Gordon, and the checkered flag will wave for Rusty Wallace. He takes his 4th win of the season, his 53rd career victory, and his 9th win at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Fans on their feet. Here we come. And it's the white flag. Boy, I know Rusty's glad to see that. 1 lap to go. The wall coming out of turn 4. One thing you can bet on Jeff Gordon, he is not going to give up. He's going to give it all he's got, and Rusty gets a little high off turn 2 over there. It's going to allow Gordon to close just a little. He's up at the closest he's been since we got into this run. 3 cars. There by 3. That's it. Darrell, all I think Rusty needs to do is run that same line through 3 and 4 right around the bottom. I don't think Gordon can get him. Only way he can get him is if Rusty slips, and he's not going to slip. Looking for his first win in 2001. Rusty Wallace clear by 3. And the winner, Rusty Wallace wins in California.
And it'll be the white flag for Rusty Wallace this time. First time he's seen it in 105 races.
Now all these fans are standing. Now all of them are waving to Rusty Wallace as he goes down the backstretch for the final time off into turn 3.
Gordon gives Newman the boot in turn 2. They're going to be side by side. Here they come to the flag. Rusty Wallace wins the Advanced Auto Parts 500 for his 55th career victory. Here's the battle for 5th. Gordon under Newman, but Ryan got the rocket launch off turn 4 and holds him off.
Well, yay, Rusty, and even more, yay, Rusty, but yay, Larry Carter. Come over there as the crew chief, and boy, has he made a difference.
And this is his first win as a Nextel Cup crew chief, Larry Carter.